Thank you. What a wonderful crowd. I'm so happy you could come out this morning. We opened with Sing Sing, and that's from the movie, Sesame Street movie. Remember that? Oh, some of you are nodding your heads. That's good. We're going to move on. Do you know what Roy G. Biv, B-I-V, do you know what that stands for? What does it stand for? Colors of the Rainbow. You guys are good. Well, do you know how the rainbow got started, really? I mean, we've heard many different stories, but you see, one day, all of the colors were together having a party, and they started to argue. The red said, I'm the most important because I have a day, Valentine's Day, and I'm the symbol of love. And green said, no, it's me. When the grass is green and the greenness, it just brings out the beauty of the earth. And the yellow said, no, it's me. I'm like the sunshine. I bring brightness. And so finally the rain came into the room and he scolded them. He said, stop it. You're all important. Don't you know that? You should be working together to create beauty and harmony rather than fighting all the time. And then the rain said, okay, now you follow me and I'll show you how to do it. And that's how the rainbow got its start. So right now, we're going to sing a song about rainbows. Take it away. today than I usually do because the bass player and the guitar player have to cool off their fingers. There was a mechanic named Gus, and he had his own shop right outside his front door. The driveway went down, and he had a small little front yard fenced in. And that's where he took care of his customers. They'd bring their cars over there, and he'd service them. Well, one day, he noticed that his dog, Mace, M-A-C-E, was eating all the grass over in his front yard. And it just bothered him because he liked to have a nice, tidy-looking place. And so he had to put Mace inside. So Mace was confined to the house. The only time he got out, he was on a leash when Gus took him for a walk. Well, as you can imagine, the grass grew and grew and grew. And pretty soon it was almost a forest in there of grasses and weeds and dandelions and whatever. Well, one afternoon or evening, it was kind of almost, the sun was just about ready to go down. He was working in the driveway, and all of a sudden he yanked at something, and his wrench flew out and into the grass. Well, this was his favorite wrench. He used it for all of his work. So he got his flashlight out and he went look, and he could not find his wrench. So he gave up and went to bed. And in the middle of the night, Mace got out of the house because Gus forgot to lock the door. And Mace got into the front yard and he ate all the grass, right down to the bare bones. So the next morning, Gus came outside and he noticed that his lawn had been shaved. But lo and behold, there was his wrench. And he looked to the heavens and said, "Amazing Mace, how sweet the sound that saved a wrench for me." Yeah, I know. I like them a lot more than I like you.
I know that was a shaggy dog.
Yeah, it was a shaggy dog story. Thank you. This next song is entitled "The Sound of Silence," and this is what the choir sings to me after I tell a story.
The
I have another story to tell you. You might even like this one. Story takes place in South Carolina, small Baptist church. The minister of music had a son, Andy, who was 8 years old. Now, in the Baptist church, they have services Sunday morning and Sunday night and halfway through the week as well. And so Andy, being a member of the family, got to go to all of these worship services, and he learned all of the hymns. So one particular Sunday morning, his father comes up to him and says, "Son, I'd like you to sing Amazing Grace for the crowd this morning." Andy did not like Amazing Grace. It wasn't the words, it was the tune. It was so boring, 5 notes going on and over and over. But his daddy asked him, and so he reluctantly agreed, put his hands in his pockets and started walking up to the platform. And he realized at that time that the words to Amazing Grace fit perfectly in his mother's favorite song, Ghost Riders in the Sky. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that raises. How amazing grace. That's not right. Yes, it is. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a French like me. I once was blind, but now I'm lost. Once was lost, but now I'm blind. But now I see. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, there's no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Praise the Lord. Let's hear it for Jesus, the Holy Ghost Rider in the sky. Daddy was not happy. He walked over to Andy and he bent over and he said, "I was not expecting that. Try it again." Oh. So Andy thought, as he walked up, I know the words to Amazing Grace will fit perfectly with my grandfather's favorite song, House of the Rising Sun. He used to play that on his phonograph all the time. And then he remembered that his mother's favorite singer was Elvis Presley. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. And the crowd went wild. And Andy's dad took one step towards Andy, and Andy took one step back and said, "Thank you very much." Well, Father said, "One more chance. One more." And so Andy thought as he's walking back up to the microphone, what is wrong with what I just sang? Do they need something a little peppier, a little happier? And then he thought, the words to this song will fit perfectly with my favorite TV theme song, Gilligan's Island. Da 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 da, amazing grace, and sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was blind, but now I'm found, but blind, but now I see. Was blind, but now I see. And that's when his daddy took him out and gave him a spanking. You have now officially become my favorite friends. So we're going to dedicate this song to all of you. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is kind of a monumentous day for us because we are changing a few things. We have been sponsored by Impact Services for 7 years, 8 years, but that's no longer going to be the case. They had a vision and really seeded the idea very well amongst us. And now we have over 40 people on our roster, and we're just having a lot of fun. But we have decided that we have to go it on our own. We can't rely on Impact Services anymore. They've got a lot of things that they're doing now, and this is our way. So we have decided we're going to change our name, but we're going to still do the same thing. So we are now the Memory Lane Singers. Like that? But to do this, it's quite an undertaking to become a nonprofit organization, to take the risk of going at it out on your own without having somebody watching over you. So we need your help. And we need your help in 3 ways. First of all, keep coming to our concerts. They love it when they see this many people sitting out here. It kind of reinforces what we do all season long. We work hard to present a decent product and to have fun while we're doing it. Secondly, if you know of someone who might benefit from a group like Memory Lane Singers, tell them to come to church on Monday mornings, this church, at 10 o'clock, and just across the way and down the hall is the choir room. And we rehearse from 10 until noon. Actually, we rehearse only about 20 minutes of that because the rest of the time is laughing and talking and sharing and supporting and caring. But we do manage to get in the time to get the music learned so that we can perform for you. And you know what? Music comes easy for these folks. I can sit down at the piano and have a totally unresponsive person listening to me. And if I play a song that they recognize, they immediately come to life. They'll sing along, and they know all the words. So we know the power of music for those people. But sadly enough, a lot of times when memory issues hit us, we pull back. We wind up not wanting to go out. We wind up not wanting to do anything. We're ashamed, we're embarrassed. So what happens when you bring them to the Memory Lane Singers group? This group of people, I have behind me 2 volunteers who are going to speak and tell you what this group means to them. And the first one I'd like to bring up is Charlie Taflin. So Charlie, you're all set to go. It's all yours.
My wife and I joined this group when it was quite new, and it was a chance for us to sing together, as we'd done a lot of. And my wife had a really good ear for music and a beautiful alto voice, so this was a great chance for us. And also, it was a chance for us to sing under the direction of Bruce Phelps, which was special for us because our children went to Anoka High School, and they all sang under his direction when they were there. So we were looking forward to that. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time singing together. At some point, my wife could no longer read music, but she could still hum in a perfect alto harmony to anything we were singing, so she was still able to enjoy it, and so was I. When she was no longer able to participate and had to go into memory care, I still kept coming to the group because by then it had become a support group for me. It meant a lot to me. It was a group of friends. And I really enjoyed coming and doing a little singing and having some conversation and some coffee. And of course, hearing some more of Bruce's bad jokes. That was always fun. Anyway, I think it's been a very worthwhile group for me, and I think for a lot of people, because besides providing us a chance to sing together and have fellowship together, it also provides moments of joy for people who really need some.
Thank you, Charlie. And now I'd like to introduce to you Marion Hines, who has also been with us for a number of years. Marion?
My husband and I started when the choir started, so we were with, I think, Charlie from the beginning too. So my little statement says, I Googled, because isn't that what we do? We Google everything to see what effect they had suggested for music and its effect on folks with memory loss, Alzheimer's, dementia, anything you want to call it. And this is what it said. Music can be used to boost the mood of someone with memory loss. Soothing music sometimes helps with behavior. At our house, my boy liked cowboy country, not to be confused with country. We had to listen to cowboy country. Sometimes music jogs a person's memory when discussing past events. Music can motivate movement and exercise. At Memory Choir, the singing with our friends has been invaluable. When I first suggested to my husband, many of you know him as Tiny, that we join and start singing in a choir, he remarked that the only place he should sing would be far, far away. His friends at choir, much to my dismay, would see how many times they could get him to repeat these words. I think the record was 15. We still talk about singing far, far away. At one of our concerts, someone told me how much they enjoyed listening to us sing, and then said, I couldn't tell who did or didn't have memory loss. I shrugged my shoulders and said, that's why we sing.
The third thing that we can do, that you can do for us, is to help support us financially. We're going to do something a little different at this concert and perhaps future concerts too, but we're going to pass around the offering plates, and we're going to ask you to consider contributing to us as we get started on a new journey. And I don't care if it's $1 or 50 cents or $150 or $700 or whatever you want to throw in. We would greatly appreciate your support. And while the plates are coming around, we have a special treat for you. My associate director, Jan Albertson, is a member of the ukulele group here in some place. Where are they from, Jan? Where's your group from? Oh, at the Y. Yeah. Well, anyway, Jan has offered to sing us a song, so while the plates come around, please listen and enjoy Jan and her ukulele.
Too much weather change. So, Bruce said it right. We call it an ukulele. There are 4 sizes. This is a concert. There's a soprano that Tiny Tim sang with. There's a tenor, which is a little bit larger, and then there's a baritone. And then our bass player is right there in the blue shirt. He plays a bass one, and he keeps us going boom, 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 so we don't lose our tempo. But last summer, I had the opportunity to go to an ukulele carnival, I think they called it, with a friend. And there was a young lady there. She was in her 40s, and that's young to me. She played a song called Remember the Music, and she taught it to us. So I'm going to try to remember it and play it for you. I don't know why I I can't find my keys. My hat, I could swear, was right here. I write myself notes, but find myself losing them. Clearly, my memory's not clear. I tie a string around my finger, but I can't remember what for. Did I turn off the stove or leave on the iron? Did I even lock the back door? Well, there's always a thread of melody in my head. Oh, for all the things I forget, I remember the music. I see it now, the band was playing. I held you close in my arms. We swayed into the night like we were the only ones. We were the brightest of stars. I couldn't tell you what you were wearing, the day or the month or the year. We whispered words, sweet and enduring, but they're long gone from my ears. But there's always a thread of melody in my head. Oh, for all the things I forget, I remember the music. When I hear that song, I start singing along. The love that we shared, it ain't going nowhere. 'Cause there's always a thread of melody in my head. Oh, for all the things I forget, I remember the music. I remember the music. I remember the music.
During our transition, we have applied to become a nonprofit organization so that all the donations made to us can be declared on your taxes work and whatever. But of course, that takes time. So in the meantime, Faith Lutheran Church has offered to be our fiscal agent, which means if you want to make a donation to us, Memory Lane Singers, you write the check out to Faith Lutheran Church, as you see on the screen. But down in the memo line, you write Memory Lane Singers. And they have a special account set up for us that we can deposit money and keep track of it and spend and use it until such time as we get our own identity. So again, thank you for your generosity today. Thank you for coming. Before we do our second half, I want to introduce the band, because these guys are incredible. David, come on down. This is my son. He's the guitarist. Ron Chamberlain. Ron is the husband to Sonia Chamberlain, who taught David how to sing. Steve Faison on the drums. I met Steve when he was playing percussion in a choir concert at Spring Lake Park High School, where my daughter happens to be the director. So we're kind of a family up here, kind of twisted sort of things. And our piano player, of course, Gary Campbell. And Gary has not missed a rehearsal except when he goes overseas. And he tries to do that every month. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, thank you again for your generosity. Thanks for coming. And please continue to come and help us out in this way. There are coffee and cookies, treats, and a time of good fellowship in the fellowship hall just across the way someplace over there. You'll find it. Just follow the crowd. And so please come and join us for that time after the concert. But for right now, we're going to take off in the second half of the concert. And we're going to start off with a 1961 song by Neil Sedaka. Take it away, Gary. Just a minute. Wait for me. Oh, you were doing it, aren't you?
You're in the right place.
Yeah, you're in the right choir. Memory check. What were the Smith brothers known for? Cough drops. Good for you. What about Johnson & Johnson? Everything. Good for you. What about the Smothers brothers? Comedy. Yeah, bad comedy. Well, we have another pair of brothers who made their fame in the music world. So listen now as we bring you a little bit of the Everly Brothers.
In my arms.
I forgot to introduce one of the most important people in this cast, and that is my associate director, Jan Albertson. Jan. Stand up. As many of you know, I had a little bit of a detour in my lifestyle. For a while, I was dealing with cancer. I beat it, and thank you. And Jan stepped in and helped, and we are now associate directors. And we kind of split everything, which makes it a lot easier for all of us, especially the group that has to deal with one of us one at a time. So anyway. But I did hear one more story, and then you know what these folks did? This is the truth, the gospel truth. They made placards, little signs with numbers on them. And every time I told a joke, they'd hold up the number. The only trick is, I learned as I looked at all of these placards, they only had two numbers on them, 1 and 2. So I took 2 to be the big one. But there was a guy who was sitting in a bar, talking to the bartender, minding his own business, when all of a sudden, a projectile came through the air. He saw it coming, reached up his hand and caught it, looked at it, and it was a glass eye. How gross is that? But pretty soon, this beautiful young gal came, and she said, "Excuse me, did you catch my eye? Did you catch it?" I just blew the whole line, by the way, but you're going to hear the story anyway. And he said, "Yes, I did." And he handed it back to her, and she said, "You mind if I sit here and talk to you for a while?" And so she did, and the two of them really hit it off. And the next thing you know, they went down from the bar into the restaurant area, and they had dinner together. And their conversation was so amiable and so pleasant. And the guy was just enamored with her, and he finally said, "Are you this nice to all the gals or all the guys that you go out with?" And she said, "No, just the ones that catch my eye." Yeah. I got to work on that story a little bit, I'll tell you. Well, we're going to finish this part of the program, and then we have one more song afterwards, and I'll introduce that to you as we get there. But this one is a fun one, and it's done by a group called the Cordettes. You'll see the name of the piece that we're doing is going to be, what is it? Mr. Sandman, right? Now, I want you to tell me after we sing what the other song was that the Cordettes made popular, and there are only 2 of them. All right, on your feet. Yesterday afternoon, about 5 o'clock, I got a phone call from Joe Lesme that his mother, Sally, had passed away. Sally was 103 years old, and she came to our Voices of Impact for many years. She was the star of the group. She picked on everybody and anybody, and they picked right back, and everybody loved it. She had the best smile. She had the best attitude. She was dearly loved by all of us. And yet it was her time, and we will miss her. We miss her a lot. She taught music in the Anoka-Hennepin School District for many, many years. And so you can imagine about how many lives she touched with her music, with her teaching, and with her just being who she was. We'll never forget Sally. There'll be a place in our heart and a place in our group. And you know what? We can feel the spirit of Sally with us today, because this is the best they've ever sung. And I know Sally was right in there with us doing that. So, Sally, we miss you. We love you. And we'd like to dedicate this next song to you in your memory, because it epitomizes what Sally has believed all her life. Why we sing.